Hey everybody, it is Tedley Tedlicious here, and this is the new upgraded edition of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 4. Alright everybody, it is a new me, new year, new background, and at first I was very nervous about this season, but you know what? Now that I've seen it coming together, I am way more secure in how it's turning out. I was specifically concerned about how Manila and Latrice were going to turn out coming back to the show, because it definitely seemed like the grandparents were coming to, you know, take care of the daycare for the day or something like that. Like, it seemed like they were so out of the realm of even coming back to All Stars. It's kind of like, why are they here? But when they reintroduced them handcuffed, they explained it was like a redemption from the first season of All Stars, that everybody hated the teams. It was beautiful, and then I'm like, okay, you know what, this could work, I like this. And honestly, did they even get a fair chance on season 1 of All Stars? Probably not, because of the teams. They were kind of like the worst team to be put together, because Latrice and Manila have nothing in common but like Raven and Jujubee. Like, they were besties and everyone loved seeing them together. Chad and Chanel, like, they were real best friends, like they worked out real good together. But then like Latrice and Manila just had nothing in common. They were just like the fan favorites from back in the day. And so the fact that they get another chance to do this solo on their own is going to be real good, except I also think that because they're back together, they're going to have some trick up their sleeves. You know, they're going to bring on like real alliances for the first time on the show, and it's going to be those two staying strong to each other against everybody else, and we'll see who joins their alliance. But so then anyways, that was like, I'm just going to go down the list of queens and try and just cover everybody here. So definitely Latrice and Manila, they weren't the standouts of episode 1 because they were not in the top 2 or the bottom 2. They stayed safe, but that's definitely a good thing for them at this point, because, you know, they need to make it a little further and they don't want to hurt their legacy by coming back. But honestly, after season 1, it doesn't matter where they ended up, because that season was like bogus as hell, but they knew they weren't going to go anywhere far anyways. Okay, let's go down the list and talk about Monét X Change. And so I kind of agree with Monique Hart's statement that she came in a basic outfit. Her performance was a little bit basic. Like, I definitely like Monét X Change, and if she had made it to the show before Bob the Drag Queen and then Bob the Drag Queen came on after Monét X Change, we'd be saying the opposite things about the queens, you know, blah blah blah, because they're so similar, and it's kind of surprising how of the same niche they fill up. It's kind of crazy to think about that. But so anyways, like, I feel Monét X Change is going to be the entertainment of the season. She's funny and all that. She has her new soap crown, except I don't want her to get too stuck on the whole soap sponge thing, because we've kind of already seen it already. You know, take Shangela's lead. You know, in season 2 she was all about the corn, but you know, she's evolved, and you know, then she brought on Frostula, and then she brings on multiple things back. She doesn't just stick with the one thing. So bringing on the sponge outfit, you know, let's see another thing coming up. Up next, let's talk about Naomi Smalls. Let's get the basic people out of the way, because I feel like Naomi Smalls is still kind of just about beauty. She is brought back on the show to remind everybody how Instagram famous everybody else is, because she keeps track of that, nobody else does. And I just feel that, like, she has beautiful makeup, she has the beautiful artistry skills, she's still a little deadpan. Let's see how she continues. I did like her gagger of the wig coming off halfway and then she looked, you know, had the old man hair. That was super cute, except it's kind of relying on the pretty thing as the joke. It's like, oh, you're the pretty one and now you took off half your hair. Blah, blah, blah. We want to see a little more than pretty plus one funny moment. You know, we want to see you have real talent. She was on the same seasons as Kimchi and Bob the Drag Queen, so she has a lot to live up to and a lot to stand up against. Oh, after that, let's talk about Gia Gunn, who is back, and I do have to say I still am sad that she's not on an All-Star season with Laganja, so Team Too Much can be together again to cause all the drama in the world. But you know what? At least we got Gia Gunn, and you know what? She got Trinity the Tuck scared about what she's gonna say. So you know what? I could actually see those two being really good friends. Finishing up with Miss Gia Gunn here, her routine was really good in the show. She had some real cool props that made her stand out. And so I was super excited to see Gia Gunn back, and also the fact that in the confessionals they actually presented her as a woman was really exciting, because so many people out there are talking about trans queens, bio queens, drag kings. Everybody wants to see more from Drag Race than what they're presenting. And so adding Gia Gunn and Sonique in this little moment here is a huge deal for the show. But so then up next, Trinity Taylor coming in amazing as always. And so then she came in this outfit made completely of zip ties. Apparently it was a Sarah Paulson reference, and Sarah Paulson tweeted about it, and it was super exciting. And so Trinity is just back in full force. This time she knows she's funny and she just went for it. So in the first talent show thing, she did a tucking song. It was super campy. It was super out there, and it's exactly what she needed to do to prove that she's not going to be the same bitchy lady she was the first time. Well, maybe she will be, plus so much more. And I am super rooting for Trinity if it's not going to be one of the Latrilla girls. Okay, well, so then after her, let's just talk about the other two season 9 girls, Pheromone and Valentina, who are officially back. And Pheromone is as beautiful as always. I will say, like, her drag seemed the most drag of the show. Like, the biggest hair, the most bedazzled outfits. Like, she definitely looks like a drag queen, and that's wonderful. And then her personality is the least like a drag queen, which is kind of funny. But so she was doing her routine, and then she slipped, and then she cried, and then she did her pheromone whining, complaining thing. But she still survived at the end of the day, spoiler alert. Then otherwise from season 9, the hashtag You Don't Love Me, Valentina is back. And what I like about Valentina is she does support the fact that people think of her as the villain. She kind of plays it up. She's just having fun with it, and that's what drag's about. You know, it's just kind of making fun of what's out there. And so you know what? She's gonna do her beautiful makeup. She was really good in the first talent show. Like, once again, she surprised everybody. She had a fake mask, and then the very first words out of her mouth, she lip-synced perfectly. So it was really good for Valentina tonight. And you know what? She hasn't redeemed herself quite yet to half the fans that think she's the snake. But you know what? She has proved herself again that she's on the show to be talented. And let's hope she doesn't have another mishap like she did last time. And then up next is Jasmine Masters. And now Jasmine is back after having a terrible run, and she's another reason I didn't even want to talk about this season yet. But I do have to say she is the social media queen, and she was meant to be a star, that's for sure. She has stood out. What I love about Jasmine is she is a hot mess. She's wild, she's crazy, she's unpredictable. I think that's what the fans like about her too. And so it was great to see her cast after thinking about it all together, and after seeing how it plays out, she totally is a good fit for the show. And it also makes sense why she walked off of the Christmas show early, because she got eliminated from this one. Why would she stick around to film the other show? But I see why they invited her back, because they want to make her feel bad that she went home first. Oh, and they totally, speaking of Jasmine, they brought up the whole season 7 being the plague season thing again, which I never in a million years thought that Drag Race was going to bring up again. But I also feel like they did that because they could secretly slide in that thing against season 9, which nobody ever said season 9 was a dull season. I guess that leaves me with just one last girl to talk about, which is, unfortunately, Monique Hart. Well, not unfortunately. I like that she's back. I think she's a huge personality. I think she is meant to be a star. Except, like, she relied, just like how Monet Exchange does the brown cow, or the Monet Exchange does the sponge thing too much. Monique Hart is relying on the brown cow too much. She has so many other hashtags. Like, she walked in the room and just ranted off 5 of them. Like, she doesn't need to rely on the brown cow thing. And I already thought I saw like 5 cows. I had enough of the cows. I don't need to see any more cows. They can go with Shangela's corn. They can just exit here. They can go to the farm. That's fine. We don't need to have them here. They can also go off with Miss Fame's chickens. That is fine as well. But so anyways, she came back. You know what? She did another lip sync. She took off the wig. And you know what? If you don't have a wig under your wig, at least make sure your wig stays on the ceiling. So she at least broke one other Drag Race boundary, which was, you know, time and space. Well, at least space. I don't know about time, but she definitely took her wig off. Oh my goodness, I'm actually super excited to be back, everybody. I hope you guys like my little graphics on my background. It's gonna get more improved, hopefully. But yes, I'm gonna be back for All Stars Season 4. I'm gonna be back for Season 11. And you know what? The music you're hearing in the background is from my upcoming song, Show You How to Slay, that is going to premiere the same week as RuPaul's Drag Race Season 11. So look forward to that too. I'll definitely be posting about that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching my return to Drag Race video here. Oh my gosh, I'll see you guys next week. Love you.